Rachel? Okay. I'm going to start with one sequence and then a couple of fragments of another sequence and then end with a entirely different sequence. So. Okay. Sidewalks. Not unlike the summers we sat, we were dizzy, the whole summer not quite there. Sometimes he shook the light from his mouth, I got used to it, tapping like seeds against my back. He was so strange, lurking those sidewalks, his yellow hair, we were not too different. Still my jaw aches, he knew when we met. On June 25th, he grew on me a muzzle. He poured seeds on my stomach, bare all summer. I grew like a root there between the cement, wilting flowers when the rain fell like limp bodies. On wild orchard nights, we discussed the winters coming in their calmness. Voices would sputter off, and I've been there too in the Institute of Long Shadows. Corridors, he would wait outside. I was insane, crossed the streets, stripped to bone. What a strange shadow I was, asking the nature of intruders. Was I welcome? There he remembers feeling. Cold, I felt older. Growing smaller, he told me, his own version of I was shaky. All summer was sidewalks. Nothing but white flowers in my dreams. He was erratic. I was locked in my dark dreams. I was locked in hotel rooms with empty vases. I could not consume all of them. Felt too full. I could not expand here. Your right fist too red and so shut, I felt alone. You have no idea how heavy it was, like flesh returning to the body. He had glass where his skin. Was there two sides to being guilty? Was I locked in, or did I walk those sidewalks like an open cut, like a fistful of flowers? You undid all of them, the tip of your fingers, nails or glass, or how mute I was. How mute I was sick with the silence, white powder over everything. I remember being despondent, or the impulse to not leave places. I remember by your face I saw in them from the window, the way the nights follow on pendulous loops with yellow hair I pluck off. I don't want to say light. All the things I thought I forge away inside this muteness, the taps on my glass, the limp bodies, less of me and less alone. I was neither here nor there, I was. It was the summer of leaning towards the side of the road which departs, which led itself there. With all the odd questions, those days fall like grease stains. On glass you wipe off, still has fragments on my windows, still there and loud enough. Weaving through gravity all summer, on sidewalks I relaxed. Too much pause in our cemeteries. I said something ripped out like a split end ripped from the concrete, resembling a body, resembling grease stains on dark matter. There is something to leaving it be, still lurking, pretending to be light, and how off it was all summer. I waited, watched from another side, walked from another diagonal, feeling of splitting in half, wind coiled to the shape of a chain. I was dizzy all summer, shaking. He said that he knew all along I would remove the light, all but that. He says this while disappearing into light. The last 12 years has been one long dark corridor, and you too were tortured by the rules of me, the tormented questions. I wanted to ask the dizzy questions, question our forms of containment. Was perfection androgynous? Would I recognize the winter? And how would it feel to break down silently, to be woman, violent, smeared on? He takes the picture with my mouth gaping wide, then sews it shut as to silence the premonitions, tears my tongue out and eardrums too, and pins me up a surface, a woman, an O detached, tilts my neck back, pours ink down the throat, and how that lifted my skin a new blueprint, like braille from the body, mouthing off like whores, I will not, I will not, I will not. This is how I'll describe my relationship with perfection. I will rip out every goddamn feather from my poor skin, every red hair a string of adrenaline, every stomach growl a phoenix I swallowed, resurrected, chlorine to the things I carry, the food I can't bear, the life I can't hold down. Now I have a machine gun living in my stomach and there's nothing you can do to stop me. I say this silently to myself, because when you are no longer a woman, you tell no one. Okay, last sequence. Okay, white flowers. It was the summer of the wildfires. I could not rest while the world turned red. I was always drowning by associative property. The imperceptible takes the face of the last face you saw. So while you drift in the between, lean sideways so daylight inverts you. Like a dark thought ripped open, most of darkness is an illusion. A sunspot where the face was, a bulging eye where the light was, a white flower splitting open. You rub your spine against its stem and your skin sparks. You start to form in its dark core. Mother read the flowers as a premonition something hopeful would happen. It was wishful to prey on things like weeds in dark times, to emphasize color in a state of panic. Rely too heavily on light and it will not escape you. It will become associated with dead things. You'll take haven in darker places. Mother doesn't listen, gathers the flowers into her bony arms like she is bathing in light, rakes it and wades there. She is levitating. I feel it in my bones. The light has undone her sense of direction. Mother is light-headed, a bald angel crouched in the garden, an act of innocence that resembles an omen. She is frantic, says she wants the flowers buried by noon. She sees white flowers in her dreams. They shake from her hands, dizzy. She wants to bury them by noon. They wake her at night. The white flowers tap her shoulders, choke her small throat, grow from her collarbones, gash against her arm, hairs falling off. She flicks them. They replicate, consummate themselves. And how could I not romanticize the asexual? In that moment, Mother was pale as grief. It was in the air, spinning. It was everywhere. What a nervous world to plant in. What a nervous habit I had of drowning again over and over. Like a reoccurring dream, you cannot rest. All right, now here's Kyle to introduce the message of music.